This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs. Hey everyone, Egman here with another video, and today we've got a deck list for BT7. It is an upgrade version and kind of like a hybrid version of the ShineGreymon archetype. This is an archetype that was pretty much relevant like a year ago, but with all the kind of support for just yellow tamers and tamers in general with this new set, it's kind of gone a big kind of boost just because of all the synergies with that and everything. So we're going to look at the list that I've been running recently. I took it to a locals and I was able to go 2-1 with it. I lost to the mirror match too, so I think it's honestly a really comparable deck, and it was a lot of fun. It really surprised me just how fun this was, and I'm happy I tried it out, and I'm going to show you guys my list. And I also think it's something it's very configurable, where if you have your own kind of ratios you want, you can kind of go from there. But just the core of it, the hybrid core, I think is very strong, and you can kind of choose the cards you want from there. So let's get started with it. So first we have our eggs. We just have 4 Upamons. We don't have a lot of rookies in this build, mostly because we can kind of use our tamers as rookies in a lot of ways. So that's kind of just the idea of this deck in general. So just 4 Upamon is fine. You get Upamon every time. You get the card draw, which you really need. And I think it's really, really solid. Going to those rookies, though, we do have 4 Salamons, probably the strongest rookie in yellow, which is saying something just because there are a lot of strong rookies for yellow. I think you have to run 4 of these. Just the fact that, you do get the free Digivolution on top of your Digi-Eggs, the fact that it can get the recovery +1 to help you survive is very strong. And yeah, I think this is the best rookie from there. A lot of people are only running these as your rookie too, and I think that's fine. I've been kind of running a little bit of additional rookies. The 2 that I've been kind of peering at or like looking at are 2 of the Pulsemon. So one is just the Pulsemon promo. This card's just generically really, really good, being able to draw just from playing it. Obviously, if you have like the 3 security special number, you can play this for 2 and draw 1, which is crazy. I've also been looking at the Pulsemon rare from BT6. So something that I've noticed when playing this deck is that a good opponent will just kind of keep you at 4 memory, or won't even swing it at all, especially with some of the tamers that get benefits from you getting hit. So I do like just the idea of having the Pulsemon just to get you down to 3 security. You also get the memory back for it too. So I think this could be like a somewhat like good add. Like probably the other card I would probably think about is a Lotmon as well. I think Lotmon, the one that you play it, you look at the top card of your security, you can add it to your hand, then draw 1. Just the cycle from that, and just the fact that you can get down to 3 security, or just have less security than your opponent, so you can start getting your effects off. Like once again, Upamon, Salamon, you need to be at 3 or less security. I think this Pulsemon getting you there and getting some memory, like just getting this out for cheap, I think is somewhat good. So I would recommend trying it out. I think there are some cool plays with it. But in general, I do like running 6 rookies just because you do want to get some additional draw. And like just, even though your tamers are pretty safe too, and you can swing in with them, with a devolution on top of a hybrid, having your Upamons out and getting that last like additional card draw, I think is very strong. Going to our last rookie, we do have 4 of the Bokomons. These are just okay, honestly. When they work really, really well, but there's very little protection. There are just so many ways for these just to die before you're able to get your 2 memory off with them. So they're nice when they work, and then if you don't work, they're fine. The biggest thing is that you get to look top 5 for your additional tamers and hybrids. That is like the best part about it for this deck in particular. You're not doing too many combos, but once again, if you do get to keep this around and get some devolutions on top of your tamers, he feels pretty good. Moving on, we do have our level 4. So one, I'm just real quick, I'm playing 2 of the Unimon blockers. I found like sometimes like you just had like some weird memory sometimes, and being able to play a blocker for 5 I think is just good enough. Barely. So, and you can like Digivolve on top of a rookie for 2, and then you have another blocker. I think this is okay for what it is, and it just kind of fills the spot. If you don't like it, you don't run it, but I think just having like some blockers are just something that your opponent has to like interact with. Sometimes you get to like really low security counts and you need some defense, so I do like the 2 Unimons. But going to the hybrid package, so Yellow didn't have any hybrids before this, but we do have 4 of the Kaustemons and 4 of the Zephyrmons. These are the new ones. So Kaustinen, you just digivolve on top for 2. So it's just a pretty standard. It's pretty much like what the Lobomons have been for a while for blue. And then we also have the Zephyrmon, and pretty much every deck got like this level 4 hybrid where it's 3 on top of a level 3, 1 on top of a level 4, and 2 on top of the tamer of the same color. So you can digivolve this for 2 anyways on top of a tamer, so it's fine with that. And when digivolving, if a card with hybrid and its traits are Zoe is in this Digimon's Devolution cards, all of your security Digimon get plus 3k DP until the end of your opponent's turn. That's never really ever made a difference when I've played this deck. It's cute, but like it's not needed, and like it's not like super easy to like. You rarely just digivolve on top of like another level 4. But and you know, we only have so many Zoes in our tamers as well, so it's nice for what it is. But just the fact that it can digivolve on top of a tamer for 2 is really what's the selling points for those. And yellow only has 12 hybrid cards outside of their level 6, which we aren't running in this deck. Spoilers, just because we are running with the Shine instead. But we do have the Jet Sophimon. This is the reason you play this deck. This is a very strong card. So when one of your Digimon with a tamer card is devolution cards that evolves into this, reduce the memory cost of devolution by 2. So if you already have a tamer out, you can go Zephyrmon for 2 and then Jet Sophimon for 1. So assuming like you had a TK out or something, normally you start with 3 memory with this game. So being able to do both these and keep your turn, and when digivolving, if a card with hybrids in its trait is in this devolution card, you gain recovery +1. So recovery +1 on like such an easy condition is fantastic as well. It's a very good card. It's a 7k, especially if you can go digivolve for 1 into it. Being able to just get that extra recovery and extra defense is strong in a list like this. All right, and then going to the the other level 5, we do have 4 of the Rise Greymons. These are just okay. If you want to go, I was thinking about having like the Aandroidd that digivolves and gains the security +1 or something else. This is okay. If you want to do like a 3 split of this and 1 of something else and try it out, even maybe 2, that's fine. Obviously, playing the tamer for free is very good. And, so you can do like digivolve and a Kaustinen on top of a tamer, go into Rise Gray, and then you can replace your tamer with Rise Gray. So I think you definitely run at least 2 or 3 of these, but and also the Inheritable can be great too late game because you can give your level 6 security attack +1 and get the game with it too. But sometimes you just don't have like enough tamers to actually get this off consistently. Even with we're running 11 tamers in this build, so I think he's good though. I think you have to run him. I think he's definitely better than the red one. I don't think you run the red Rise Greymon in this build, but there we go. All right, going on to our level 6s, we do have 4 of the Shines. This is an older card, but I'll just read it for you guys. Essentially, when digivolving, suspend all of your yellow tamers. For each tamer you suspend, activate the following effect. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -4k DP for the turn. Also, your turn, this Digimon gains +1k DP for each tamer you have in play. So the when digivolving only cares about yellow tamers, but if you wanted to do some splashing, and I've seen some people run like the purple version of this list too, where they add some like the purple Karis and everything else. I think that's fine too. But being able to get the additional popping and the +1k can stack up and be important too. Like getting over 15k with security attack +1 can help you win the game. And I think he's powerful for what he is. You do have to suspend all your yellow tamers. You don't get to choose how many. So that's like the only bad part about it, because sometimes you want to be able to use this and like leave like a tamer up so you can maybe digivolve into something else and go into it. But I think it's fine. And definitely like a boss monster. Just the fact that like this can do so much board clear is fantastic, and you can spread the -4k across multiple targets. I think that's still a very, very powerful effect. The other level 6 we have, and this is kind of just more of a tech card, and I think you're just honestly fine with the Shines itself, but we are running one Seraphimon. When digivolving, if you have a tamer in play, recovery +1, and then on deletion, recovery +1 as well. It just helps you sustain, which is nice. Just being able to go into this and recover on the same turn, I think, is very good. Like doing it with a tamer is good. And then, especially if you have this with the Rise Greymon, This is just a fantastic thing. So you have like a 11k security attack +1. You apply some pressure, and then if your opponent wants to get rid of this, you get to another recover. So I think that's good, and it can help you out. As it's a cute little one of Digivolving for 4 is kind of expensive, but there we go. And then we are running 2 level 7s. I only own one Susunomon right now. So if I had 2, I'd probably run 2 of them. But Chaosmon has its perks too. This can pop 2 things sometimes, and this can only pop 1. But the bigger thing with this guy in general is that he has security attack +1. And normally how you kind of play this list and how the build works for it is that you kind of build up your army. You play a lot of tamers. You just be really passive. You go into your Jet Sophimons 2 to get your recovery +1s, and then you just kind of blow at your opponent by having your board just swing in, right? So being able to, even though this can be really expensive for 7, if you can do it on top of like a ShineGreymon, you can pop something that, your opponent is trying to build into, and then, this starts hitting for 3, which is very impactful. So I like this Susunomon, and obviously you can also Digivolve it on top of your your Tamers late game if you have a lot of stuff there, and I think that's nice. So, but once again, if you don't have that, I think Chaosmon Valor Arm is a good budget replacement for it too. And I don't know how expensive Susanomons are, but even though it is a secret rare, I don't think it's a secret rare that decks are running 4 of. So I think you can get it for. I think the price will probably drop pretty soon. Going into our tamers, so this is probably everyone's, what defines the deck for a lot of people, and where everyone have their own personal ratios for them. So right now, what I'm doing, I'm running 11 tamers. I think like 12 is probably the max I would do personally, but you do want to run a good amount of these guys. So I'm running 2 of the starter deck TKs. The security attack or security Digimon +2k is fine, but just the fact that it's a tamer you can play for 2 is just good enough. We do also run 3 Zoe, being able to look for hybrids. We're not running hybrid R10 warrior type. We're not running the level 6, so we can't go into that one, unfortunately, but we can't find it from there. And we only have 12 targets in the deck, but this works usually you can resolve this once a game, maybe 2 if you're lucky, so it's fine. Getting some card draw or potential card draw with it is cool, and then you get some benefits from going into it, but it's an okay tamer, especially since once again you get the draw. We have the TK and Kari tamer. This is the weird one. I think it's good. So it has the start of your turn, if you have fewer security cards than your opponent, gain 2 memory, and then your turn, when one of your yellow Digimon attacks, you may suspend this tamer to have one of your opponent Digimon get -1k for the turn. So it's okay. And this is kind of change, if you want to run this card, you have to make the playstyle work for this. And it's also one of the reasons that I'm thinking about the Pulsemon that takes your own security, or the Lotmon too, just because you can get some procs off this, which is really nice. But yeah, it's good for when it does start working. It's the reason why you really don't want to swing on your opponent until you can kind of get a lot of pressure or game with them, just because this can get a lot of memory for you late game, and it's probably the best hit for Rise Greymon to get, so it's fine. But yeah, sometimes if you do a lot of recovery early, then you can never get it to proc, and it kind of feels bad. And then of course we just run 4 of the BT1 TK, still probably the best yellow tamer in the game right now, and I think 3 is the right number for him. You can go up to 4. You do get to search the things. The only thing about running 4 that I find is that we do run a few white cards, and because of that, with between the Pokémons, especially since we have 6 cards that take from our security, there can be the scenarios where you proc the TK from security and the other card left in your security is a white card, and then you just do 1 extra damage to you. So I don't know, I think 3 is fine. It's obviously you want to see it every game. You want to play 1 at least every game because you want that extra memory, but I think 4 is too much. But if I was to add another tamer, it'd probably be a Zoe. Zoe would be the 12th tamer if I was to add another one. But I like the ratios for here right now. I was running the 3-drop Kari, and I just found that TK and Kari was just better. Even though it cost 1 extra memory, they pretty much both proc at the same time. but this does twice as much work for it. And this is just easier to proc than the Kari most times. It's just it's a really weird card. It's a really weird balance. Last cards we'll talk about, we do have 4 security cards. So reinforcing memory boost, run 1. If we could run 4, I'd probably run 2 of it, but we can't, so 1 is fine. It's still a fantastic card, and just being able to have like the memory boost in general, if you can proc this in security, you probably win the game, just because getting the extra 3 memory on your next turn is very, very impactful. And then we also run 3 of the Wyvern's Breath. We have a good amount of recovery in this deck, so it's not unheard of to hit these pretty consistently. And just having like a big old removal spell or option card helps you out a lot too. So I think you're fine with 3. I was running 2 at some point, and I think 4 is too many, so because they can be stuck in hand sometimes. But being able to like pop something really, really big, I think is good. And that is the list that I have for you guys today. Again, this was a lot of fun. Shoutouts to Yomi for suggesting I try this deck out. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I think it's something that you can commit a lot of time to, and you can make it your own, which I think is really nice for a deck like this. You can really know the interactions, you can find your outs, and kind of go from there. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to see some gameplay of this, I will be streaming this on my Twitch streams. Tomorrow of this video coming out, I do have a Digimon Twitch stream there too, and we're giving away BT7 packs and everything else, so make sure to check that out. And let me know what other decks you guys want me to cover for BT7. I think in general, one of the things that I've noticed with this kind of meta is that there are just a lot of decks that people can, you can spend a lot of time on a lot of different decks and be really successful with them, which I think is really, really cool. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.